Instantaneity or instant? What's the word for that? What's the word? Instant culture, buffet culture. The buffet culture. Hi everyone. Welcome back to IELTS Trang BEC. Again, today I'm here with teacher
Jeremy.
From?
The UK.
Whereabouts?
My hometown is Hereford.
Hereford. Now I remember how to say your hometown correctly. Before that, I was like Herefordshire. What is Herefordshire? Hereford, which is in the south.
It's in, I would say, the middle.
In the middle.
It's classed as the Midlands. Yeah, so yeah, right in the centre, I would say. It's actually on the border of England and Wales.
England and Wales.
Yeah.
That's why you have very nice and neutral accent. Right. So the topic today we are talking about
Videos.
Videos. Yeah. Online video. You guys know that this is the latest topic that they ask now in the IELTS Speaking. In part 2, you will be asked describe an online video where you learned something new. And in part 3, they will ask students some follow-up questions. So I will ask teacher Jeremy, and then you guys will listen carefully, give your own sample answer, and learn the lexical resource at the end of the video clips. That's how you make the most of the channel. So you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
So let's get the ball rolling.
But get the ball rolling.
So let's get the ball rolling. Right. So question number 1: what kinds of videos are most popular in your country?
Well, that's difficult for me to answer because I haven't been there for such a long time.
But you just been by.
Yeah, but I didn't really. I would imagine it's just normal what it is in most countries. Just pop songs or something like that.
Songs,
Groups, music.
Groups, music, yeah.
I would most likely say that. I have
podcast.
Yeah, a podcast is growing quite fast now.
Massively.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it started small, but now even in a lot of hobbies, interests, and other things, podcast is, maybe for the older people, not so much for the younger ones. I was thinking from a child's point of view. So from an adult's point of view, most probably podcasts. Most probably would be the popular one.
Would you say the people in the UK, do they care a lot about educational content or entertainment content?
It depends what you're looking for, I guess. Some are looking for the one and others are looking for the other, right? So I guess it just depends on what they're looking at or what they're looking for.
Right.
Yeah.
So it really depends on age group.
Yes.
Young people, for sure, they're looking for Korean drama, educational content, and educational content. Whereas old people would like, what do old people would like to hear about, do you think?
Older people like maybe podcasts.
Podcasts,
yeah.
Nutrition.
Yeah,
health.
nutrition, health.
Sports.
Sports
for young people.
Yeah, sport for both.
You name it.
I think you can. There's a market for everything, right? You can watch everything, right? So.
Right. Question number 2: are there many people who watch online videos a lot?
I think it's an addiction, right? To most people, they can't leave the phone or the laptop or the iPad or something for 5 minutes. It's not a good habit.
You think so?
I don't think so. I mean, there's a time and a place, but it shouldn't be the priority, which I think for some people it is their priority. Don't get me wrong, I like to watch videos online, mainly podcasts, and I can watch or I can just listen, with my earbuds in. So I don't necessarily have to watch what they're doing. I can just listen or I can choose both. And that's mostly my preferred. I like listening to podcasts about fitness, health, the latest research on some diseases and things like that. anything to do with that. Yeah, which I find interesting, but it's not an addiction.
Right.
It's just what I do in my free time, and also I'm learning something at the same time. But I think a lot of the things what people watch is just nonsense, to be fair. And what you watch online, you got to think that those people they're not always telling the truth, you know. Actually a big percent they're not telling the truth. Don't always believe what you read and what you see. You know, they're just trying to get likes and that's it most of the time.
They want to get popular,
and
then they can do it at any cost, you know. So there are so many people who watch online videos in this day and age, because we are living in the digital era, and then everyone is constantly on the go, holding the phone. I feel like, especially like everywhere we go now, people just glue their eyes on the screen. Don't you feel so?
I think so, yeah.
So there's so many.
Yeah, I mean, you can't leave the phone for 5 minutes. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, if it can't wait an hour, you know what I mean, then there's obviously a big problem. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, there's emergencies, but it's not in everyone's situation.
Right.
You know, if you have to carry it for business, for work or something, then that's fine. But you know, I go to the gym 2-3 times a week. I mean, I take my phone in the gym, but you know, for an emergency or for something, I don't look at it. It's just you know, in my towel, just in case a call or something like that.
Right.
But a lot of people, they take it and they're spending more time watching the screen than what they're working out. It's just a big distraction. And obviously in the gym it's safe, but then when you see people driving a car or riding a bike or even walking along the street or whatever, I just
can't get our head around why people
I just
have
can't.
that.
No, it just doesn't make sense to me.
we can't get our head around.
Yeah,
right?
I can't get my head around it.
Okay, which actually leads to number 3. Do you think people spend too much time on watching short videos? Short videos, guys, which reminds me of the advent of TikTok.
Yeah, short videos. I might be old-fashioned there.
Maybe old-fashioned.
Old-timer.
Same. I'm not that fun.
No,
I'm not a fan
I can't. I think they're pointless. I gotta be honest. I can't really see what you're going to learn in a short video.
Right.
If you're watching a longer video and the content's good and it's educational and stuff like that, I can understand. Or just some short clip where you get to the point very quickly. And then it's okay. But then if you watch a short video for 30 seconds and it doesn't have no long-term content, it doesn't have a quick point that it's getting to, then it's just pointless. If it's getting to the point and you're learning something or it's giving you some information quickly, then fine. Apart from that, obviously the longer one. But I mean, they just watch
too much time.
Yeah, it's just nonsense. You know what I mean? And nothing. You're not really going to take anything from it.
You know, that's why I always prefer YouTube compared to TikTok, because I feel like I can learn I can learn like even 1 hour. And my favorite channel, and I'm still on my learning English journey, I listen to English with Lucy, very, very nice biggest channel. Like, I really love her. I absolutely adore her. And each video clip is about 1 hour or even 2 hours. But I love learning, and I can actually learn from that. Or some podcast by Luke English podcast. I can listen to him waffle all day, and I can learn a lot from that. But for some short video clips on TikTok, I'm not a big fan of that, and I don't really use it. But for my channel, I just go there, upload our video clip for students to learn, and then just out. I don't really use that. So yeah, but yes, people spend too much time, right? Which leads to number 4. Why are so many young people obsessed with short videos? Like, why they cannot stop using that? Obsessed is like you cannot stop using.
Yeah, just obsessed.
Obsessed is like you keep thinking about that, or like also both thinking and like keep using.
Obsessed just means you can't be away from it, right?
Why?
You're just obsessed with something. So, you know, any little bit of free time or, you know, 30 seconds here or 20 seconds there. I mean, the reason why most probably young people, just because it's short, it's exactly what it is. Short and it's quick. You know, they have 10 seconds or 15 seconds, they can just watch one clip. And most of the clips are funny, right? So they're humorous. So that's why they're addictive, because they like these, short little funny clips.
They
You know
love
what I
something
mean?
instant.
Yeah, that's it.
Instantaneous. Instantaneity or what's the word for that? What's the word? Instant culture. Buffet culture. The buffet culture. Is that?
I don't know.
You know, I'm asking you. Like people just want everything. People just want instantly.
Instant. Yeah, they want it instantly,
they want
right?
Instant.
Yeah.
And it just reveals like people are no patient anymore.
No. Yeah,
right?
they just want something to pass the time, but very, very short time. Like if you said to young people, go and watch a 30-minute podcast, they would never do it because they would get bored and they would think that they wouldn't learn anything or it wouldn't make them laugh. But maybe it wouldn't make them laugh, but obviously they would definitely learn something and their time would be well spent.
Yeah.
But with a short video, I don't see how you can learn anything. Okay, it'll make you laugh for a split second, but it's not. Yeah, we'll just finish there.
We are okay. Don't get us wrong. We are not criticizing you guys. No. We just don't understand because based on our opinion, I think that we can only really actually learn is that from YouTube. I don't see like many of my students say, oh, I can learn a lot on TikTok, but I don't see how you guys can learn English from TikTok. Like, I don't get it.
The thing is, I can't really say because I've never watched short videos. And when I was young, obviously phones weren't really accessible like they are now, especially with YouTube and everything else. So I was more an outdoorsy person.
More what?
Outdoorsy.
Outdoorsy?
Yeah. Means
like
that I would...
behind the times?
No, outdoorsy means that outside. Go camping, go climbing trees, play football, go digging worms in the garden.
Digging worms?
Yeah, just doing...
digging worms?
Digging worms, worms. Just doing kids' things, you know what I mean? But now it's changed. Technology. For me, there's a time and a place, but I think for social skills and for being healthy, and for longevity and all that, I think technology has killed it personally. But then that might be me being old-fashioned. But then if you look at the facts say that. So.
Jamie mentioned a lot of phrase. There's a time in a place.
Time and a place.
There's a time and a place. What does this mean?
A time to do something and a place to do something.
There's a time and a place.
Yeah. So for instance, you wouldn't like, what can I say? You wouldn't watch like a short video like in an exam, or something like that. There's a time and a place for it. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be the time nor the place to do it. The time and the place to do it would be like at home. Or in your break time or something like that.
Right. So the reasons here, two reasons. First, it is funny. And it's like instant content, and people love to consume instant content as they are like living a very hectic lifestyle. Now everyone wants instantaneity. Do we have that word? Instantaneity, or just say instant culture?
Yeah, I would just say you just want it an instant. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. So what are the next question, which not really relating, but I don't know why they throw that questions into that section. But they say, what are the advantages of online learning? Educational content.
Yeah, if it's online learning, then I think there's a lot of advantages.
First one.
Obviously, it's convenient. Very convenient.
Right.
It's flexible. Very flexible. It's cheaper, obviously. Yeah.
Save a lot of time.
Yeah, save a lot of time. I mean, there's a lot of things. You know what I mean? You can make obviously you can learn. You can make a lot of friends. I think there's a lot of advantages with online learning, and that's just in learning with a teacher. But advantage if you're learning by yourself, it's a lot. I mean, you can listen to the news, you can listen to music, you can watch a movie with a subtitle.
Right.
You can do a lot of things.
So many.
And when you're learning English or learning another language, you want to be strong at all the skill, not just going in the classroom environment under that pressure with a lot of students. So you can do something you enjoy, like listen to music or watch a movie and then have English subtitle, watch news, and then it will strengthen you, and you will actually learn a lot from that while enjoying yourself at the same time.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, not in a pressure environment of a classroom or something.
You know that actually I used to be an anti-fan. Can we say anti-fan of online learning? Is that anti? But after COVID, when I had no choice but to teach online, and I just realized that, teaching online is easy, and I feel like I could totally teach students as effectively as how I teach offline. And me as an English teacher, and I'm still learning English on a daily basis, I learn so much from online learning. Like I learned from Look English podcast, English with Lucy, and there's other podcasts about nutrition and diets, and that's so effective. Whether you are in America, whether you are in Vietnam, my teacher now, my online teacher now is Gemma Shepherd. Hi Gemma. She's still teaching me even though we are 7 hours time zone differences, but she's in the UK and I'm in Vietnam, and we are still able to learn. So that's really
I think for online learning for adults as well is
really
better. For kids, I mean, there's a lot of barriers. It's a bit more difficult. I've taught online for kids. And to be honest, offline is still better for kids and adults, but with adults you can control it a lot better. Obviously with kids, I mean, they're going to be 9 times out of 10 in their own house, so there's a lot of distraction that can take them away from the screen, and other things. So it's quite difficult to have control of a class of kids.
Very true.
Online. If it's one-on-one, it's not so bad, but if you've got a class, it's quite difficult.
Yeah, that's why I cannot get my head around some teachers. They can teach 20 or 30 students online. I mean, like, how can students learn? There's no way even for adult. I think for online learning, maximum 5 students in one class. Final question. So, do you think online learning will replace face-to-face learning? This is a very debatable topic.
It's how long's a piece of string? That's what we would say. It's 50-50, right?
Will be replaced by AI?
I mean...
by online learning?
It just depends what you want, your situation and what you're going to get from it. You're never going to get the quality and the connection and
human touch.
Yeah, you're never going to get that online learning with face-to-face. I mean, for me, obviously, being a teacher for 5 years here, face-to-face is much better. You can get a connection with your student or your students. They can get a connection with you. Right. When you're online, you're just a face. Yeah. You cannot bond with them.
Can you feel the energy?
Yeah,
online?
That's it. You don't get that. Even though online is good and I like it, but then if it suits your purpose and you're getting everything that you want to get out of your journey, then that's fine. But if you want the quality, the connection, and everything else, then face to face, it has to be.
That's why we will never be replaced. Yeah. Nobody can replace teachers like us, right? Can guarantee. We will not worry about being unemployed one day, because online learning is good, but it cannot. Offline learning cannot be replaced under any circumstances, because we still need human interaction.
The thing as well with online is you follow a structure and you tend to stick with that because you're in a time frame. When you're offline, even though you follow a structure and you have a time frame, you always can interact, play games, do something, at the spur of the moment, or change direction from the lesson for 5 or 10 minutes. And talk about their day and all that. You don't get anything like that online. It's just a seriously learning. But like you said, there's a time and a place. If you have offline, you can just go off the track a little bit, and talk about other things, or
flexible for the itinerary or something.
I think so.
Curriculum, it can be very super flexible. So it depends on your purpose. Depends on where you are. if you can maximize online learning, that would be wonderful. But I would highly recommend to choose offline wherever you can. If not, just go for online to suit your purpose. So balance, because we need real interaction. So they are very useful questions, right? Maybe TikTok are not happy when listening to our channel today. When we
two old buggers or something.
They throw burgers to us. They will not be happy because we don't support for TikTok. But I think for real content that you learn, YouTube is still my go-to choice when we want to really absorb or consume high quality content. And that's why we are trying to building this channel more meaningful and add more values to you guys. Make sure you give your own samples at the end of the video clip, and I will show you all the necessary vocabularies. Thank you so much, Jeremy, again for joining the channel. Make sure you guys give us a
thumbs up.
Okay, share the channels to everyone and spread the energy to those who are pursuing English and love English on a daily basis. Bye for now. Bye bye. So the topic is about the part 2 is about describe an online video where you learned something new, and they ask you some questions like what kinds of videos are most popular in your country. Are there many people who watch online videos a lot? Do you think people spend too much time on watching short videos? You know short videos?
Yeah. Just
and
short clips.
Yeah.
Like.
And why are so many young people obsessed with short videos? You know, the TikTok arrival. Yeah. And then what are the advantages of online learning? And do you think online learning will be replace face-to-face learning? So there are 6 questions in total. Part 2 is about, so I think online video here, it could be podcast. Yeah, YouTube video. Yeah, so I think we can have a lot of things to discuss in here. Back to Vietnam.
Yeah, so
that's the only way.
So you need to find a purpose and stick with the purpose, then the rest you will have more motivations.
Yeah, that's great. Finding a purpose in learning anything when like can give you the North Star, like, okay, right, I need that, so that I need to be good at that. There's no shortcut. Some people are really patient. They learn just for 3 months or 6 months. They say, why is my English? No, why hasn't my English improved yet? So what would you say if you are a teacher?
I say it's very common at any of the special field in our life.
Right.
For example, I'm doing badminton, so I have been training for the last 4 years, but still my level is still like intermediate and not advanced. So I learned that if you want to be good at any skill, you will need to practice more hours.